Hello children, we came to the conclusion of the lesson and also the closer look Akbar's policy. So this is very important. So as I said you that during the Akbar period, the ministry of Akbar code, they were very fascinated about the administration, and though some of the Hindus and some were in, say, such as Birbal, okay, and some of them were other the Turkeys, and he was having such quality of the who that minister team. So because of that, so that administrative systems were fantastic during the Akbar period. Okay, so let's see that how was the policies and everything that. So the broad feature of administrations were laid down Akbar were elaborating discussed by the Abdul Fazal in his book. Abdul Fazal in his book. Okay. So what is the book? Akbarnama. One is that. In particular, the last volume, that one, Ain Hai Akbari. So that is what is that? Majorly, what is that? Abdul Puzzles. He written a book Akbarnama. But in a particular last volume, that is last one, what is that? Hey Hey Akbari. In that, he discussed everything about the. He discussed everything about the. What is that? Complete about administration and everything that. Okay. So Abdul Fazl explained that the empire was divided into the provinces called Subas, are going to be called Sabas, and governed by the Subadars, who carried out the both political and military functions. So both they were maintaining that. Subas means that particular. So we are going to call that taluks. Okay, presently taluks we are going to call like that. They are making that on a collection of the village. They were making that subas. So that governed by the subadars. So he is going to maintain which one? Political. Along with the political, he is also maintaining the what is that? Military functions. So each provisions has the financial officers or divan. Did you hear that divan? Where it is that? So mainly he was going to be followed that. What is that? Divan in the Mysore region. We are going to hear that. What is that? Such as divans. So during the Chikka Rajendra Wadiyar period, so that divans were ruled out. Even the Vishweshwaraya also be one of the divan of that. Okay, divan Purnayam. So dear children, once you visit to the Mysore region, okay, so once you visit there, you could see that. So this is one of the traditional cultural center of Karnataka. Why it is that means you could see that areas and all they are going to keep the names. Okay, so Divan Purnaya, Veena Sheshana, okay. So like that they were going to keep the names for that particular areas. So these are all that. These are all the. So what that Mysore Wadiyas followed that one. So now let's come to this Akbar period. So each province also had the financial officers or divans. So financial officers is called as divan during Akbar period. For the maintenance of the peace and order in a province, the subadars were supported by the other officers such as military paymaster, that is Bakshi, ministry charge of regional and charitable. This is very important. SAR and military commander Fauzdar and town police commander Kotwal. So Kotwal presently we can hear that. Okay, so this one. So let me tell you about that. So during the during the Akbar period, there were 9 jewels. They are going to call that. Okay, Navaratnas are 9 jewels. So here, oh, who were there? Birbal. So he was one of the Birbal. Okay, and next one is Abdul Fazal. Raja Todar Mal, okay, and also Abdul Rahim Khan, hey Khana, and Raja Birbal, and Mullah Do Fiaza, Sheikh Faizi, Fakir Azir Din, Tansen, okay, so and also Raja Mansingh first. So these all were there in the in his court, in Akbar court. So they were all called that Navaratnas or 9 jewels. They were going to be called like that because what for? So they were all maintaining the administration in different way. Okay, some were supporting for the regional charity, and some were in the military, some were in administration like that. So this is what he did that. Okay. So in Akbar at the Fatehpur Sikri during the 1570s, he started discussion on religion with ulama, Brahmins, Jesuit priests who were Roman Catholic, okay, and also Zoroastrians. So he discussed about the religion when he was in a Fatehpur Sikri. Okay, these discussion took places in that Ibadat Khana. Discussion took place in Ibadat Khana, in a place. He interested in religion and social custom of different people. So different people, they were having the different kind of religions. So that's why he had a discussion of all this tradition. Akbar's interaction with the people of the different faiths made him realizing that religions, scholars and emphasizes ritual and dogma were often biased. So this is one major. See, this is a discussion, okay, of all the tradition and all the major this one. Okay, he implemented his own tradition in his provisions. Okay, Akbar majorly given that every citizens of this is provision should accept this one, should not be Brahmin, should not be Muslim, or should not be other tradition like that, Christians or anything. So all everybody should be in one dharma or one religion should be followed like that. He planned that one. Okay, that is only he had a discussion with that. Okay, Akbar idea of that Sulh hai Kul, universal peace. Sulh hai Kul, so that is universal peace. This idea of tolerance did not discriminate between the people of different religion in a realm. Instead of focus on the system of ethics, honest, justice, peace. Which is that system of ethic? What is that? Honest, justice, peace. That was a universal applicable. So what every religion's books or epics are saying, that what is that? That is only thing, honesty, justice and peace. That only universal applicable he suggested. Abdul Fazl helped Akbar. So Abdul Fazl, one of the Navaratna 9 jewel. Okay. So Akbar, in the framing of a vision of the governance, administration of the Sulh hai Kul, this principle of the governance followed by the Jahangir and Shah Jahan. Remember, this followed by Jahangir, the son of Akbar, and then Shah Jahan, son of Jahangir. But after that, Shah Jahan's son Aurangzeb, he did not follow this one. Okay, so they were followed that. Sulh hai Kul, that is what is that? Universal peace. What is the universal peace of the system of ethic is? Honesty, justice, peace. That is what it is. So the Mughal Empire in the 17th century and after, so that administrative and military efficiency of the Mughal Empire led to great economic and commercial prosperity. See, in Indian history, there were three eras that are going to be followed. That one is that in the Mauryan Empire. What is that? That Arthashastra, Kautilya's Arthashastras you have learned in the 6th standard. That one is one of the major economical or administrative guide which was in India. And next one is Akbar's period. Okay, so and also another one is, so what is that? In Krishnadevaraya's period. So these three are the major jewels or the shining stars in administration. Okay, so as is my opinion. Okay, the Mughals empire in the 17th century and after that. So after everything, that how it is going to be efficient. See that administrative and military efficiency of the Mughal Empire led the great economic and commercial prosperities. International travelers describe the fable land of wealth. So they describe this one, what is that? Fable land of wealth. But these same visitors were also appealed that at the state of poverty existed side by side and a great opponents and inequality were glaring. You see, during the Akbar he was going to be balanced, but when in Aurangzeb period, it was not in like that, in discrimination, and he was mainly focusing on which one? Focusing on the, in this particular community, he was supported, and so there are many other that we can't be expressed like that, but here, during his period, that more discrimination held that Hindus were getting more taxes. Okay, so like that, there are many discriminations were happened that during the period. So inequality were glaring. So documents from the 20th year of the Shah Jahan's reign inform us that highest ranking Mansabdars were only 445 in the number of total 8,000. So what is that? Mansabdars were only 445, okay, highest ranking in number out of the total 8,000. Total 8,000 during the Shah Jahan period, only 445. So the small number of the mere 5.6% of the total number of Mansabdars received 61.5% of the total estimate revenue. Whatever the revenue was collected, that 61.5% was received there. Okay, just 5.6% of the total number of the Mansabdar received 61.5% of the total estimated revenue of the salary themselves and their troops only. See how much it is there. The enormous wealth and resources commanded by the Mughal elite made them an extreme powerful group of people in the late 17th century. As the authority of the Mughal emperor slowly declined, his servants emerged as powerful center of the power region. They constituted new dynasty and held the command of the coast like that Hyderabad and Howd. These are all the separate, okay. New dynasty held command of the provinces like Hyderabad and Howd. Although they continue recognition of Mughal Empire in Delhi as a master, though Hyderabad and Howd were separate provinces. So these were considered as the Delhi as a master only. Delhi Empire in a Delhi, they are master only. They were considered. So dear children, this is the lesson of the Mughal Empire.